Hi, and welcome to our virtual balance class. We're bringing this class to you so that in this difficult time you can practice safely in your home, practice balance, your strength, your coordination, so that hopefully it can help you become fall-proof. To introduce ourselves, I'm Tanya Rudder. I'm a personal trainer, Pilates instructor, and I've been teaching balance for about 6 years. This is my partner, Chris Bentahado. He's a medical exercise specialist here, and he's going to be teaching you the strength section today of our balance class. It's going to be a 30-minute class. I'm going to teach it just like I would on site if you were all in front of me. And there's going to be 3 sections of this. The first is going to be a warm-up for your lower body, your calves, your ankles. And this is something I would also recommend you do if you're a walker. Previous to walking, it can help to loosen everything up, all of that. Second section is going to be strength. Why strength? Because having lower body strength is one of the most important things you can do to have good balance. Over time, our visual, in our ear, our nervous system slows down a little. So if you can practice having very good lower body strength, it may keep that little trip from becoming a fall. And Chris is going to teach that part of it. Then the third part, I'm going to be teaching a balance exercise that focuses on a single leg, safely with props nearby to hold on to. Why single leg? Why is that important? Think about when you walk. When you walk, there's a moment when you're on a single leg. That may not be an issue for most of us, but for some people it can be really scary. So if you work in a challenging environment and strengthen, then when you get to do your ordinary walking, hopefully you will be able to feel more confident and comfortable with your walking. First of all, let's talk a little bit about safety. First of all, make sure you're wearing your normal walking shoes. Athletic shoes are very recommended. Secondly, safety first. When I teach this in a class and I can observe you, I will always emphasize safety, but even more since you don't have a teacher in front of you today. So, some things to hold on to as you need to and always have nearby. One might be if you have a stair rail at the lower end near the floor that you could use. That would be one possibility. Secondly, you could use a kitchen counter. Finally, a back of a chair propped securely against a wall. So all of these are items that I would want you to be standing near as we do the exercises. And let's talk a little bit about just posture quickly. I'd like you to think of having open width across your collarbone, gently bringing your core in, and keeping your eye gaze as straight ahead as you possibly can. These are things that help support a good balance. Then reps. Number of reps we do with any of the exercises. Feel free to not do those if that's not your strength or your energy for the day. Take a little break and then get back to it when you're ready to do that. So try to practice also this routine 3 times a week if you can, or at least a portion of it. So first, I'm going to demonstrate the warm-up to the lower body. It's exactly what we do in our balance class. So I'm going to stand here. I would be holding on if I were doing this myself as a balance participant, but I will be facing the camera so you can see what we're doing. The first thing is going to be heel raises and toe lifts. So I'm going to have you stand nice and straight, tighten your glutes a little bit, lift your heels up 8 times. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now I'm going to have you pause a moment for a toe lift. Toe lift, I would definitely want you to hold on because you might have the sensation of going backwards. This is going to strengthen the front of the shin area. So for your toe lift, stay nice and straight and lift your toes up 8 times. 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Now let's do that 4 and 4. Lift your heels up 4 times. By the way, as you lift your heels, try to have the weight evenly distributed on the ball of the feet. Not going to the side, not going to the middle, but right squared, or the inner, but right in the middle. So here we go. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And now toe. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Now 8 alternates. Heel and toe. Heel and toe. Heel and toe. And heel and toe. 4 more. Heel and toe. Heel and toe. Heel and toe. And heel and toe. Okay, take a little bit of a pause. Now what I want you to do is lift one leg in the air, holding on. Keep that leg up. I would even suggest you put a hand on a hip, because I want you to keep the hip very still while you do this. So what I'm going to have you do, 4 slow ankle circles. Keep the hip still and do just through the ankle. 2 and 1. Opposite side. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Keep that leg up there for the last part for this one leg. Point your toe, deeply flex it to feel that stretch in the calf. Point your toe again, and flex, point and flex, and point and flex. Nicely done. Put that foot down, and we're going to do the same with the other foot, other leg. So put that hand on the hip again, just a cue to keep the hip from doing the turning. So circle 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, 4, 3, 2 and 1. And last, point the toe, flex it, point and flex, point, flex, point and flex. So that's the warm-up. This is also a good thing to do if you're on a plane, because that keeps circulation going in your legs while you're sitting. And now I'd like to turn this over to Chris, who's going to do the strength section.
All right, so we're approaching our second portion of today's workout, and it's the strength portion. We have 3 specific exercises that I'll run through the beginning with you. We've got a squat pattern. We're also going to go for a leg lift in multiple directions, as well as something called a hip car, or a controlled articular rotation. We've got a chair out over here just to be able to show you how to use. You want to make sure that at home your chair is pressed up against a wall or somewhere secure so it doesn't move around. So I'll go into the squat portion. So when you're thinking about your squat, different things, you maybe want to think about number of repetitions, or also the range of motion, especially if your knees are acting a little bit grumpy, or if they do feel grumpy in general. So you're thinking about lengthening with your spine, bracing with your core. I'll go and demonstrate one. Here I'm thinking about slight bracing of my core. I'm reaching my hips back, and I'm situating my hips into the floor with my weight into my heels. I'm thinking about now pushing into my heels, thinking about the connection with my glutes, and extending through my hips, thinking about extension of my spine, and everything stacking nicely on top of each other. So we'll go through about 8, 10, or maybe 12 repetitions. If you feel like 8 repetitions is your max for today, kindly stop there and rest. If you feel like you could go for 10 today, then that's also okay. If you want to challenge yourself to 12, then that's maybe where we'll stop for today. So let's go for maybe a set of 8, 10, or 12, going to what feels good in our bodies today. So let's think about lengthening with our spine from tailbone through crown to skull, extending through the spine, bracing with our core. We're going to think about inhaling the hips back, going for a squat here. I'm going to hold onto my railing. I'm going to think about exhaling, squeezing through my glutes, pushing through my heels, and extending through my hips. All right, so that was 1. We're going to inhale the hips back. Exhale, push through the ground through the heels, up for 2. Here we go for 3. Good, and here we go again for 4. Good, here's 5. And again, you could also reduce this range of motion at your knee. You don't have to go all the way down like some of us are doing today. You can maybe go for a mini squat here. Good, that should be 7. We're going to 8 here. Good, and if that feels like it's your stop for today, feel free to stop. I'm gonna go to 9. Good, and here's 10. Good, and I'll go for 2 more to mark 12. Here's 11. Good, drawing that mind-body connection to your glutes, especially as you're pushing into your heels, and that is 12. Good job. So we're gonna go for maybe 2 to 3 more sets. Kind of pay attention to how you're feeling in your body. If you feel like one set feels like it's sufficient, then feel free to stop there. You could challenge yourself to 2 sets or possibly 3 sets. With my crew today, we're probably gonna go for 2 sets. So let's go for 2 sets of 8, 10, or 12. All right, so reset, make sure that hips are about hip width distance, lengthening with your spine, bracing with your core. You're gonna situate your hips back, weight into the heels and big toe. Here we go. Here's 1. And up. Good. And 2. And up. Good. Here's 3. Good. And 4. 5. Don't know if it's the lighting or if it's the exercise, but I'm feeling kind of warm. Here's 6. And 7. 8. 9. Pay attention to your knee range of motion, number of reps you're performing as well too. This is 10. We're maxing out at 12 here. Here's 11. Good. And 12. Good job. How are your quads feeling? You guys feeling okay? Yeah? A little bit some effort there. Alright, so 2 sets is our stop for today. We're gonna segue into our next portion that will hit on both legs. It's a little bit of a taster of your single leg balance stuff that we'll be performing in the next section. So what we'll perform here, holding onto your railing, still thinking about length of your spine, we're gonna go for a leg raise. And again, that's gonna be in multiple directions. I'll show you over here at a side angle, here at the center of the bar, lengthening with your spine, bracing with your core, and for what's called your stance leg, you're gonna think about squeezing and contracting through that glute. I'm gonna go for a flex foot of my right foot over here, and I'm gonna go ahead and elevate that foot up towards the front of my body, and I'm gonna lower it down. We're gonna go again for about 8, maybe 10, maybe 12 repetitions. It should be 3 here. 4, and try to make sure that you're erect with your spine. As you extend that leg, you're not extending that spine back. Alright, here we go for 7. And 8. And if that feels like it's your stop, feel free to stop there. 9. Bracing with my core still, actively engaging with my left side glute. And I'm going to go for 2 more. And last one, here's 12. And I'm gonna go ahead and break from that one. We're gonna go for a leg raise off towards the side now. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you that in this angle over here. I'm thinking about, again, lengthening with my spine, raising with my core, and squeezing through my stance legs glute. I'm gonna make sure that my feet are parallel and that right foot doesn't have a right turn out of that toe. So making sure that you're turning that right toe in. Maybe think about leading with the heel as you're bringing that leg out towards the side, okay? It's also important to note that you don't want to kind of hinge over from your torso, so you want to make sure you're nice and tall. So let's go ahead and practice about 8, 10, or 12 repetitions of that, okay? So lengthen with your spine here, brace with your core, actively engaging your left side glute. You're gonna go ahead and bring that right side leg out laterally. Here's 1. Good, and 2. 3. Feel like a ballerina at the bar over here. Here's 4. 5. 6. 7. And 8. Good. 9. 10. 11. And 12. Good job. Alright, some glute activation going on there. So we're gonna think about now extending the leg out towards the back side over here. So I'm gonna show you from the side. If it feels good, which sometimes it does, you could go for a slight bend of your right knee here. So I'm gonna show you both of them. You could have a fully extended leg. Sometimes that doesn't feel too good for the lower spine. So if you would like to bend your right knee, then that might feel better. You might get a little bit more glute activation in doing so. So we're gonna think about extending with our spine, bracing with our core. Again, kind of actively engaging with that left side glute. I'm going to bend my right knee here with a flexed right foot, lengthening the spine again. And you're going to go ahead and extend that right leg back for 1. Alright, here's 2. And 3. 4. And here it's important to make sure you're not leaning forward with the trunk. You want to stay upright and tall. Alright, here's 6. 2 more if you're stopping at 8. Good, here's 8, nice. And 9, I'm gonna go up to 12, 10, good, 11, and 12, good job. So we're gonna go ahead and take a pause here. We're gonna go and make sure though that you are targeting your opposite side. So we just worked on our right side with multiple directions for that hip. You want to make sure that you're also working into your left side, and those key points that you want to keep in mind are that you're extending with your spine, so from the tailbone to the crown of skull you're lengthening, you're bracing with your core, and you're going to, in this case, actively engage your right side glute because we'll be working into our left side over here. And then you're just going to be going into those multiple directions, again for maybe 8, 10, or 12 repetitions.
We're now going to do the third part of our balance workshop today, and it's going to be called balance progression. Working on a single leg and progressing the balance challenge as you continue with the exercise. So this is one where I would definitely want you to hold on. Either, as you can see, the group behind me, they're holding onto a back of a chair. I'm going to hold on to a rail. You can also hold on to a kitchen counter. As a reminder, your right hand, your right leg are the support side. We're going to use our left leg as the gesture leg for the exercise. Balance progression. We're going to do 3 things to the front plane. We're going to do 6 reps of just a tap. Tap, back, front, tap, return. Tap, front, tap, return. We're going to then progress it. Tap to a leg lift. This is where you need to hold on to a lift. To a lift. Then finally, we're going to do all in the air. Lift to the front, lift, return. Knees are bent, lift to the front, return. So that last one, if it feels a little scary for anyone, just continue with your tap, tap. What's happening on that support side? Glutes are engaged, heel glute connection. That's what's going to start burning a little. That means it's working and it's helping you balance. So I'm going to do 6 reps of each of those, and I'm going to tell you to do what you feel like doing with your energy today. So let's do it again. Tap, tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Pause just for a moment. Second part. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. 3 more. Tap and lift. 2 more. And lift. Tap and lift. Pause a brief moment. Now the more challenging part, please hold on as you need to. Lift to the front, lift, return. Lift to the front, lift, return. Lift and return. 3 more. Lift, return, lift, return, lift, return. Nicely done. Now reminder, width across the collarbone, eye gaze straight ahead, and glutes, core gently engaged. We're now going to do that same exercise to the side. So a different plane of motion. So once again, 6 reps. Tap, 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 tap. 3 more. Tap, tap, tap. Soon you'll be ready for the Rockettes. And now tap and lift. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. 2 more. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. Nicely done. Last one. Lift to the side. Lift, return. Side, return. Side, return. 3 more. And side, return. Pause. Now we're going to do that same series to the back. So you're going to feel these muscles in the back, your glutes and your hamstrings working a little bit more. Meanwhile, this support leg is still working. It may be burning a little. That's okay. Just a reminder, and anything we're doing today, if you should experience sharp pain, stop it. But if it's burning, that just means you need to do the work, and that's okay. So now let's do the same thing to the back. Width across the collarbone, holding on. Tap, 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 tap. 3 more. I may lose a little count here, but we'll do it. Now, tap and lift. Tap and lift. Tap, lift, tap, lift, tap, lift, tap, lift. Okay, nicely done. Now we're going to turn around. We're going to do that same series the other side. For this, I want your left side, left hand, left leg. They're the support. The right leg is going to be your gesture leg doing the movement. So once again, to prepare, squeeze your glutes together with the cross and gently drawing in your tummy. Holding on as you need to. So front plane first. Tap, tap. And 3. 3 more. And now tap and lift. Tap to a 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 lift. Third part. Lift to the front, lift, return. Lift to the front, lift, return. Lift, return. Lift, return. Lift, return. And lift, return. As a reminder, that third one, with everything in the air, you do what you feel comfortable with. And if it feels too scary, go back to the tap, tap. Okay? So once again, we're now going to go to the side with that same series. Opening that, good posture. Here we go. So tap, tap. 3 more. Now tap and lift. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. 3 more. And finally, all lift, lift to the side. Lift and return, lift. Lift, lift. And 3. And 2. And 1. Take a little break here. And if you need to, just pause because maybe you're not ready for that last one. If you are, please join us. Here we go. To the back. Tap, 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 tap. 3 more. And 2. And 1. Good, you guys. Tap, lift, tap, lift, tap, lift. 3 more. 3. And 2. And 1. Finally, the last one. Lift to the back, lift, return. Lift, return. Lift, return. 3 more. 3. And 2. And 1. Nicely done, everyone. So what this is showing you is balance progression. Balance progression, when we're standing on 2 feet, we have a wide base of support. When you stand on 1 foot with a little bit of support from the other, a little stronger. When you have 1 leg in the air, that is the minimal support of your whole body. So that's pretty much what we're going to do today. Look at the things we've done, the strength section, the warm-up. All of these things can be done in a single work, or you could pick and choose and do different ones for different days. Always with safety, always having something nearby to help support you. I wanted to show you something else very quickly you can do daily, because this is something that's very easy to do. Just simply holding on to a rail, lifting a single leg, open shoulders, looking straight ahead, and try to do that for 30 to 60 seconds at a time. And then of course you would turn around and do the other side. 30 to 60 seconds, sorry for the turn. And hold that. This is something I would recommend that you do every day. It helps just reinforce your balance. Some days balance is better than other days. You're going to feel strong, you're going to feel very connected Other days you may feel a little shaky. Just make sure you have that support for you. So I hope that you will do this and I hope you will do it safely. We look forward to the time when we'll all be back in Centering Health and Fitness doing all these workouts together. Thank you so much for joining us.